What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today, I've got a nice one for you today, ladies and gentlemen. The lovely folks over at the Transformers TCG have gone and given me an exclusive reveal, or I should say, a pair of exclusive reveals. I've got some character cards to show you, and I tell you what, I'm a little bit biased on this one, and I'm not even sorry about it. I mean, the body at least here, it's looking pretty gosh darn spicy. It's Brainstorm! I'm delighted about this, right? Because back in Wave 1, we got a battle card called Brainstorm, and it was really good, and it saw lots of play. And then in Wave 3, we got an alternate art reprint of Brainstorm, and it was still really good. But we never actually got Brainstorm. Now we've got Brainstorm. Brainstorm is coming as, well, technically not a Titan Master, but it is the body which combines with a head to make a Titan Master. Technically only the heads are actually called Titan Masters. And if we start off having a little bit of a look at the stats, we've got a 9-cost character with health of 12, attack of 4 or 5, and defense of 1 or 2. They're fine. They're not particularly stunning, they're not particularly bad, they are roughly in line with the other bodies that we've seen so far. They're alright. Nothing particularly amazing, nothing particularly terrible. In body mode, we do like the attack of 5, but we're not so keen on the defense of 1, etc. Also in alt mode, right, it's just wave 1 average stats across the board. Cool. But you see, Brainstorm, and this is what's weird to me, Brainstorm loves upgrades. Even though the Brainstorm action card lets you play an action and then play another action and is all about the actions, the Brainstorm body loves upgrade cards. So if we start off in body mode here, when this attacks and you flip at least one upgrade, you may put one of the upgrades you flipped into your hand after the battle. So kind of imagine that every single upgrade is a green icon card. But you don't have to swap a card in your hand for it, you just get to pick it up. The other day I was getting all excited about Wolfwire, and I stand by that, I love Wolfwire, and that had a skill that when you battled, and that was attacking or defending, Brainstorm is just attacking, you can pick up a green icon card, you don't have to swap it with a card in your hand. Well, here you get to do that for any upgrade, and alright, it's not an action card, but still, any upgrade is pretty gosh darn nice. It gives you a card advantage. It means you've got more cards in your hand, and it also means you're not going to miss upgrades. So one of my favourite upgrades in the game is Armed Hovercraft, and we're going to be talking about that in a minute because this is a ranged character. An Armed Hovercraft has a blue icon, gives you +1 attack, but when you put it on a ranged character, you do 1 damage to each enemy. Great card, absolutely love it. The issue is that it doesn't have a green icon. So if you play through the game and you always flip it while attacking or defending, you never see it. I mean, you see it hit the scrap pile, but you never actually get to play it. Now with Brainstorm, there's still a risk that you only see it while defending, and then you will miss it. But if you get rid of it while attacking, if you flip it while attacking, you get to put it in your hand so you don't lose the card. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But then when you flip into alt mode, you look at the top card of your deck, and if it is an upgrade, you just play it. How cool is that? Look at the top card of your deck, if it is an upgrade, you may play it. This is phenomenal! Playing extra cards is good. One of the things about the Transformers TCG is that during your turn, you can flip once, play 1 upgrade, play 1 action, and then attack. The amount of things you can do during your turn is very limited compared to a bunch of other card games. So one of the biggest advantages that you can give yourself when playing this game is playing extra actions or playing extra upgrades. This doesn't let you play extra actions, but it sure as goodness does let you play extra upgrades. That is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But of course then we do get to the question of, alright, what can I do to try and make sure that I've actually got an upgrade on the top of my deck? Because nothing's going to be more annoying here than flipping to alt mode, looking at it and going, ah, shucks. It's not an upgrade, it's an action, I don't get to play it. And we do have a few things that we can do here. Now, there are actually a bunch out there like Datapad. When the upgraded character attacks, draw a card, then you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. But the problem is you're then flipping that card while attacking. That's not going to help you too much. Really, the classic example here is Incoming Transmission. Draw 2 cards, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. So here, you play Incoming Transmission right before you flip into Alt Mode, and then you put an upgrade on top of your deck so that you can play it. And of course, there is the potential combo here whereby you attack with Brainstorm, then after the battle, you just pick up one of those upgrades. Then you use Incoming Transmission to draw 2 cards and put it on top of your deck. Then you flip into Alt Mode, and you are actually choosing which upgrade it is that you play. So that would put it there from your hand. Or if you want that exact interaction, but you want it as a tap ability, albeit having to discard an orange icon card from your hand, how about Private Top Shot? In bot mode, it's got a tap skill whereby you draw 2 cards and then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Do please remember that for both of these cards, you are putting a card on top of your deck after you've drawn 2 cards, so there is a possibility that you draw the upgrade you're looking for and then immediately put it on top of your deck. The other card I actually really like here, and for a very long time I've been saying that this is only good in a Devastator deck, Reclaim. Because for a long time I never saw any use for Reclaim other than a Devastator deck. It is a blue icon card that reads, put an upgrade from your scrap pile on top of your deck. If your tower is 3 or higher, draw a card. Well, you only actually get a tower if you play Scrapper. At the start of the game, put your tower tracker into your KO area with a height counter on it. So you'd kind of have to play a Scrapper deck, which most people don't really want to. Boo, hiss, etc. So this is really nice, because now you play this, you take whatever it might be, whatever upgrade you want and put it on top of your deck, then you flip into Alt Mode and yay! You get to play it straight away. And then we're starting to look at upgrades and we're starting to think about potential partners for Brainstorm. If we want to go full theme, what we're really looking to do here is find other characters that either want lots of upgrades or can use upgrades. You don't need to. Brainstorm is a good character that lets you get extra upgrades and play extra upgrades. It will fit with basically anything, but there is the potential here to play it in an upgrade themed deck. And it actually works beautifully, and I'd like to think this was intended, though I have no idea if it was. With Megatron Arrogant Ruler, one of the cards from Wave 2 that I revealed. Because Megatron, when you flip to this mode, you may play an upgrade. Well, it would be nice to have more upgrades in hand when you did that. And when you attack in bot mode, you may scrap an upgrade from your hand and draw 2 cards. So you kind of need some upgrades in your hand in order to be able to do that. Oh, look! Brainstorm's got your back. For me, personally, there is no way I'm not testing a Brainstorm Megatron deck. Not sure it's actually going to be good, but if you're going to let me reveal 2 cards with so much obvious synergy, you best believe I'm going to be giving that a run out. And if I get any decent success, I'll share the list on this channel and you can see what you think about what I come up with. Now a card which is probably a bit more at the centre of the metagame at the moment, Sergeant Springer. Now, Springer is a 12 cost, but even then, Brainstorm the body is a 9 cost. It still gives you 4 stars for a head, which means you can play any head that we've actually been shown so far. Now, Sergeant Springer is a triple changer, and when you flip it into the helicopter Alt Mode 2, you may scrap an upgrade from your hand and draw 2 cards. Pretty nice draw. Also, when you're in bot mode and you have 7 or more cards in your hand and flip to it, you may play an action, then play an upgrade. Well, if you're going to be playing an upgrade, you need upgrades in hand. Brainstorm's got your back. And similarly here, if you're picking up an extra card every time you attack, you're going to be getting more cards in hand, which means you're going to get to 7 cards in hand just that little bit faster. So I do very much like the idea of playing a Springer Brainstorm deck. While we're talking potential nice combos here, I do need to just mention Reprocess quickly. It's a green icon card, so at the end of a battle you can swap a card in your hand for it, and you scrap an upgrade from any character and repair 2 from that character. Obviously, if you've got more upgrades on the field generally, that is going to make a card like Reprocess a little bit easier. I am a huge fan of Brainstorm, and look, anytime you get to reveal a card, you spend a lot more time looking at this than basically any other card in the set. You spend a lot more time thinking about it, a lot more time looking up combos. You inherently become biased towards the card. I get that, I understand it, it's not lost on me. But I think in any deck where you're willing to play a bunch of upgrades, which is going to be most decks, having extra upgrades, finding them more easily, and playing extra upgrades is pretty gosh darn good. Now, another character, just very quickly, I do kind of see a bit of synergy with here, though I don't know how really realistic it is you'd actually play it with it, is the Major Shockwave that we saw back in Wave 3. Because you see, Major Shockwave, now the other thing to bear in mind here is it's a 14-star character, which is very expensive. It means that you would be limited to a 2-star head. We've got some, but you would only be allowed to play a 2-star head, because Shockwave at 14 and Brainstorm Body at 9 would put you at 23, which means you would be limited to a 2-star head. But it does let you look at the top card of your deck at any time, which is actually really nice, because it means that you can always make sure that you only flip into alt mode when there is an upgrade on the top of your deck. Now, you are a ranged character. I've already mentioned Armed Hovercraft. That's pretty good for cheeky damage. And it also means we do have Marksmanship. If you have a ranged character on the battlefield, do 2 damage to an enemy in bot mode. This really depends how good this is going to be in the future on how good Titan Masters end up being, because we've had it confirmed that a body and a head is not bot mode, which means we might be seeing fewer bot modes going forward. But certainly you lend yourself to cheeky damage there. If you wanted to get a little bit of healing going on, we've already mentioned Reprocess. Maybe we could also go Cooling Vents here, because Cooling Vents is a nice little card that lets you heal 1 from a ranged character. And it is an upgrade armor, which means that you're going to be able to find it and play it more easily. Or maybe think about Reflex Circuits. Again, it's another armor card, so it's going to be easier to find, and it gives you +1 defense, an extra +1 defense, +1 normally, and then an extra +1 when you're defending against a melee enemy. Suppose that one really depends on your metagame. And one more upgrade, since we're talking about ranged characters that love upgrades, how about Sturdy Javelin? You whack it onto a ranged character, and when it attacks, you scrap it and do 2 damage to an enemy. Certainly when you combine it with stuff like Marksmanship and Armed Hovercraft, we could be in for a really nice cheeky damage deck here. And then, since you're a plane, might I suggest Multi-Missile Pod? It can only be put on planes or helicopters. You can put up to 3 of them in 1 weapon slot. And when you attack, you may scrap it and do damage to each enemy equal to the number of Multi-Missile Pods scrapped during this battle. So if you can get 3 Multi-Missile Pods on in one go, and then scrap them all, they are phenomenal. The difficulty with Multi-Missile Pod, getting all 3 of them on. Wouldn't it be nice to have a character who both drew extra upgrades and could attach extra upgrades? That would be nice. And I suppose, being a plane, you could play Crash Landing here, so that when you got KO'd, you got to do damage equal to its total attack to a tapped enemy. If you want to go cheeky damage here, you want to be a ranged plane, and oh look, you're ranged and a plane. Now, I know we are 14 minutes into the video, and I've not even mentioned the head I'm going to talk about yet, but I'll be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, so excited about Brainstorm, not even sorry. Secondly, did put a timestamp in the description. Thirdly, when it comes down to the heads, right, what we're basically getting is a head for everything. This is your focus head. It is a 2-star head, and we do need more 2-star heads. It gives you focus 1. That is to say, when you attack or defend, battling generally, look at the top card of your deck and you may scrap it. Get rid of a blue icon if you're attacking, orange icon if you're defending, etc. It's fine. It's alright. It's really, are you looking for focus? If you're looking for focus, if you're playing a mixed deck especially, this is great. Outside of that, maybe not. As for Autobot Telsor, I mean, look, you're a 2-star character. We ain't expecting much. The rules for anyone that may have forgotten or may be unaware: when a Titan Master is KO'd, the body goes to the KO area and the head becomes a bot. You've got 1 defense, 1 health, attack of 2. Now, these are very low even for a Titan Master, albeit you're a 2-star character, but you've got a health of 1. If somebody drops an armed hovercraft, you go away. If somebody drops a zap, you go away. If somebody drops a heavy landing, you go away. To put it another way, right? If anybody does any cheeky damage whatsoever, in any capacity, you're gone. It's so risky. So risky. And even then, most Titan Masters aren't going to last very long. Most Titan Masters get 1 attack and then get KO'd. But you've only got 2 attack, and the reality is your opponent's probably going to take you out before they even attack, unless they're not playing any cheeky damage cards. You are a specialist, which is awesome, because it means you can use Field Communicator, another card I revealed, to essentially play the top card of your deck. And I do like having a specialist. And it means you do get multi-tool to attach an extra upgrade, not multi-mission gear. Remember, that was banned. And look, if you really want a head that turns into a specialist, because you're playing a specialist deck, this will do. And it is the only head we've seen so far that is a specialist. It's also the only head we've seen so far with 1 health. It is literally the easiest to KO character we've ever seen. It's not without its uses, don't get me wrong. It is a specialist and it gives you focus. And if you're looking for either of those 2 things from your head, you're good. If I haven't made it clear already, Autobot Telsor, when you are in bot mode, does still have focus 1, which is nice. And you can still get a nice attack off with this, like you can with any of the heads. But the attack is low even compared to other heads. The health is literally as low as it can get without being KO'd the second it hits the field. But it's a specialist. And it gives you focus. They're the reasons to play it. Brainstorm, I am absolutely in love with. I'm a huge fan of it. I'd like to know what you think about these cards. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Transformers and a whole bunch of other games. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.